News Radio 1370 WSPD. 8:12. Time for more of Anderson and Company with Jerry Anderson.
WSPD News Radio 1370.
You're listening to Anderson and Company with your host, Jerry Anderson. If you'd like to talk to Jerry, call now at 240-1370 or fax the studio at 242-2846. And now, here's Jerry Anderson on News Radio 1370 WSPD.
Hey, good morning to you. 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. They just had the shotgun start in the Fifth Third Bank Pro-Am, and the paramedics are busy.
Doc!
Somebody had the wrong idea of a shotgun start.
Well, a lot of the celebrities are from L.A. And, you know, in L.A., a shotgun start means something completely different than here at the golf tournament.
Well, in fact, these golf carts have them nervous. Drive-by shootings. We welcome into the program my buddy from years ago and up to and including today. Now, we'll reevaluate this about 9 o'clock this morning. You all know him and love him, former morning radio show host in Toledo, and now he has his own program in the L.A. San Diego area as well. That's in the mornings. And then in the evening is on the CBS radio network, coast to coast in this great land of ours. This is Steve Mason. Welcome home, my friend.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back in Toledo and here for the Jamie Farr Toledo Classic.
Well,
still going strong.
Yeah, we had to get a star in town, so we booked you.
Yeah, right.
Hey, now, we were kicking this around over at TOL yesterday. Now, of course, Jamie, favorite son of the city.
Absolutely.
No question about that. And now he brings into town people with him like Artie Johnson.
Yes.
Laugh-In fame.
Yep.
But, I mean, how old were you in Laugh-In?
Laugh-In would have been about 71, right?
Was it maybe even before that?
70, 69,
I graduated
68.
I think it was 60. Okay.
Ruth Buzzy.
Yeah, Ruth Buzzy
is here.
She was part of it.
Joanne Flug. Anyone who was formerly on the Match Game celebrity board. Brett Summers is here.
Joanne Worley. She was the shot.
Charles Nelson Riley in the center square today.
He just wants to putt. There will be no driving going on. Just an occasional chipping, maybe a putt. Charles Nelson Riley. All right. Well, now, when we look at people like, let's say, Artie Johnson, Ron Masick is in town. He was like the sheriff guy on Murder, She Wrote.
Yes.
And so we were kicking this around yesterday. Do those guys, what do they do for money?
Well, a lot of those people who had shows in the last, 10 years or 15 years, like Jamie, Jamie doesn't ever have to work.
He's rinsed just off the residuals.
The residuals are unbelievable. If you go back a couple of years before MASH, Susan Olsen, who played Cindy Brady on the Brady Bunch, now she's a friend of mine. In fact, if you talk to anybody from the Brady Bunch, they are just so ticked off because they get no money. There were no residuals at that time. Sherwood Schwartz produced the Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island. Those people got no residuals, but everybody that came after that, they just rake it in. And if you have a hit sitcom, you never have to work again once it goes into syndication. Gary David Goldberg, who produced Family Ties, that show sold in syndication for $500 million. He made $500 million off that deal. So you can imagine what Michael J. Fox made.
I gotta write a TV show.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Well, now tell everybody else what you're up to. You're working on the CBS Radio Network, and you're working closely with Tom Snyder. In fact, you have been a guest several times on his television program.
I've gotten to be on the TV show twice in 6 months. I started that gig January 1st of this year, and Tom and I co-host the program. It's called The Late Late Radio Show with Tom Snyder and his lackey, Steve Mason. I believe that's the official title of the program.
It says so on the card.
It's funny, they print bios, CBS prints bios, and Tom's is like, 2 pages long, and mine fits on a business card.
And that's with lackey spelled in big, tall letters.
Exactly right.
All right, so you have a radio show that leads into what we see on Tom on television, and when he's on TV, he's on radio as well.
That's correct. They simulcast his TV show. So I do the hour and a half from 11 until 12:35 Eastern Time. I'm on the air live, and it's celebrities and interviews and call-ins. And then Tom's TV show is broadcast on radio from 12:35 to 1:35. And then Tom comes in from 1:35 to 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and we take phone calls together. So I actually sit in the same studio with Tom, and we take calls together.
And what kind of guy is he?
Tom is fantastic. I have learned more from him in 6 months than I've learned from anybody ever. He's a brilliant guy. He's a broadcaster. He loves radio. That's the thing about him. I mean, I think eventually Tom will wind up doing just radio. He did it for years at ABC Radio Network. He's a broadcaster. You know, he's a throwback, and this is one of the few shows on TV. You know, when you watch Letterman, when you watch Leno, I didn't know this until just recently, but when you watch these shows, these guys, their producers get with the celebrities, and they say, come up with 4 funny stories. And then Dave and Jay will lead these people into their funny stories. Well, Tom's show is completely different because he has no idea where it's going. It's completely unplanned, completely unscripted, and that really doesn't happen anywhere else on TV. So you get to see different sides of people, whether it be a newsmaker or you know, if anybody from Cokie Roberts to Newt Gingrich. I mean, anybody that's on that show. But it's completely unrehearsed and unprepared, and Tom is brilliant at it.
Wow. Then after being on the air till 11 o'clock Pacific time.
Correct.
Show. You turn around and you do a morning radio show on what is supposed to be a sports talk station, but there's not a lot of sports on your morning show.
No. The morning show that I do on Extra Sports 690, which is owned by the good people at J-Corps.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with them?
And I'm getting to know them. Some are coming into town this morning. Behave yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm big fans of J-Corps, but I work
what
at...
a stock up. The kids are coming into town.
No, I'm tremendous. I'm a tremendous fan of J-Corps and what they're doing. They're a monstrous company. They're buying everything in sight. You know, so for that reason, you can't afford to really burn any bridges. And
they're going to own it all.
They're going to own everything.
Them and Westinghouse.
That's right. I got myself covered, number 1 and number 2. But J-Corps has been great. And the morning show I do on there, it is an all-sports station, but we do basically the same show I used to do on 93Q.
The old Q Morning Zoo thing.
It's just rag on everybody.
All right. Well, I do my own sports in this program.
That's what I hear.
And I'm late to do it. You want to do it with me?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to lead you into some stuff, and you can just comment on the world of sports, all right?
I'm happy to do it.
We have our own official sounder for sports. Look at that. It's the WSPD Orchestra.
Oh, wow.
They're over to Studio 2 downtown.
Very impressive.
Yeah, very good. All right, here we go. As you know, we are a Detroit Tigers station. They lost last night 2-0. They have now lost 4 in a row. And basically, they're a very bad baseball team.
You know what? Randy Smith is a very good friend of mine. I like Randy.
He was out of San Diego.
Tremendous fan of Randy's, and I think it's going to take a number of years. He's got a 10-year contract, and I think it may take that long to turn the team around.
If anybody can pitch out there, you and I could go up there and pitch.
Absolutely.
All right. Cleveland got beat last night, but they're still in front 3 games. Still the best team in the American League.
I'm going to be at the White Sox-Indians game at Jacobs Field on Friday night. Got those much-coveted tickets, and the Indians are still monsters.
Yeah, they really are. Let's go over to the National League, if we can, for a moment. Tommy Lasorda is out, had abdominal pains, turned out to be a heart deal.
Yeah. You know what? We had advanced knowledge that it was a mild heart attack. I know Tommy. I know Joe. It will not take Tommy the length of time that I heard you read earlier to come back. Tommy, you can't keep him away from the ballpark. He'll be back sooner.
All right. How good are the Dodgers?
The Dodgers are underachievers. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think the Padres are going to win the division.
All right. Mike Piazza, the leading vote getter in the National League.
I think that you can make a case for him. I think you could also make a case for Todd Hundley from the New York Mets, who's got 20 dingers and 70 RBI so far this year.
You're doing some sports talk out there. You said dingers. All right.
20 dingers, 20 taters.
They're playing tennis over at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Steffi Graf. I mean, it's all about, can we even make her sweat?
Yeah. It's all about, can I stay awake? Not a big Wimbledon fan. I know there are big tennis fans out there, but, you know, too many Americans have fallen by the wayside.
So we don't care about that?
No.
Okay, let me get past this.
Yeah.
Wimbledon, we don't care. We don't care.
No. Brooke Shields, she's out of the tournament.
Kobe Bryant. Kid comes out of high school and tells people where he's going to play.
Yes.
Demands to play for the Lakers.
His agent, Arn Tellem, probably the second most powerful agent in the NBA next to David Falk. And I think what you're seeing here is he's definitely going to be a Laker, and that's the front end of something else.
With Shaquille O'Neal?
Shaquille O'Neal is a dead cold lock to go to the Lakers as soon as Vlade Divac is a member of the Charlotte Hornets.
And Vlade finally has signed off and has agreed to do that.
And the Lakers are going to be a powerhouse because they're going to have Nick Van Exel at the 1. They're going to have Kobe Jones at the 2. They're going to have Cedric Ceballos and Eddie Jones at the 3. They're going to have Eldon Campbell at the 4 and Shaquille in the middle. And that's a team that can go to the NBA championships every year for the next 10 years.
All right. That was sports, by the way, with insight and analysis from our own Steve Mason. It's 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We got to play a couple of commercials. Right now, let's get you updated on traffic and weather together. Becky Tobias is with us here at the Highland Meadows Golf Course and has the very latest in our traffic situation.
All right, traffic-wise this morning, we did have some accidents earlier, but they're pretty much cleared up. US 24, just to let you know, will be closed at Canal Road starting at 8:30. They're cleaning up yesterday's accidents. When you see other traffic troubles, 241-4994 or star 1370 toll-free on your 360 communications cellular phone. In our forecast today, partly sunny skies. We do have a chance of afternoon thunderstorms with a high of 82 today. Tonight, partly cloudy and mostly cloudy with a chance of showers early and a low of 60. It is 72 degrees in downtown at News Radio 1370 WSPD.
8:22, 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. I was over to see Jamie Farr's tee shot.
Yes, how was it?
Yeah.
Hey,
I almost spilled my coffee there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it down there. He got it down the fairway, landed it in the valley where you don't really want to be, but mostly it was in the fairway, and he seemed happy. I think that their pro actually withdrew from today's Pro-Am.
Is that right?
They announced over there. The pro withdrew.
Really?
Well,
traffic report, we've actually got a golfer down on the first fairway, and it looks like somebody hit an errant drive. Play through! Just play through!
We're going to take a break. Our guest is Steve Mason. We're right back on Anderson and Company. 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, 8:25, Anderson and Company. Our guest is Steve Mason, longtime friend of mine, mentor in radio. You've helped kind of show me the way.
Oh, yeah, mentor.
That's a lot of blame to lay on anybody, isn't it? All right.
Mentor.
Now, tell our listeners about, you're actually competing now with Magic Johnson.
Oh, geez. I don't know if it's fair to say. I do run an inner-city movie theater complex in Los Angeles, in Hawthorne, and we do compete on the same turf with Magic Johnson for inner-city and underserved moviegoers in Los Angeles. Yeah. We have 6 screens there, and will soon be 15 screens.
So you own theaters?
Yes.
You're a network radio star. You have your own radio show in New York, the second largest market in the country.
Yep.
What do you do in your spare time?
Not a lot. There's not a lot of room for any. I still crank out that newsletter.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You have a service, as we call it in the business, for radio personalities around this great land of ours.
Yep.
Steve Mason's Creative Services. Telephone call. Somebody wants to chat with Steve Mason this morning. Steve, this is your life, apparently. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're on Anderson and Company with Steve Mason. Go ahead.
Steve, good morning. This is one of your former teachers from Gateway Middle School when you used to have a longer name.
Yeah, I did have a longer name back at Gateway.
The name is Bill Capanna, and
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm fine.
Can I call you Bill, or do I still have to call you Mr. Capanna?
Well, you only called me Mr. to my face anyway. So.
That's true.
Steve was on our crack AV team, and I think that's where he got his start with the electronic media.
Did he win a letter on that AV team?
He kept out of trouble with it.
Yeah, I think it got me out of several classes. I think that's why I wanted to push the film strip projectors around the building.
Film strip, cassettes, and overheads.
That's right.
You did that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because it got you out of class. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yes, and you were a leader to some of the other young men who were coming out of that.
Men.
AV wannabes.
The AV team at Gateway. Now, where are you these days, Bill?
Steve, I'm working at the Private Industry Council and some school-to-work programs, and that's where the connection was.
Now, are you still in the AV business?
No, I'm not. I've been in teaching, marketing, and now I'm into some training. And your career I followed when you went from AV to Mud Hen Bat Boy, and you've just been working your way right up and out of Toledo.
Yeah, imagine AV to Mud Hen Bat Boy. That was the biggest leap I've ever had in my career.
Well, you used your communication skills.
That's right.
It was only embarrassing when the cleanup hitter broke his bat and Steve came pushing a film strip projector out onto the diamond.
Steve, it was good to talk to you. I just wanted to say hi and keep up the great career.
No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Was this guy a smart aleck when he was in school with you, Bill?
He was a scholar athlete. I think Steve was the last person on the basketball team.
Absolutely right.
And
I was the scrappy guy.
He was about as, I can't see him right now, but he was about as thick as a broom handle then.
Yeah, little thicker now.
Growing that, he kind of had that Beatles mop going back then.
Yeah, you know what they used to put me into the game. I think Carl Sass was the basketball coach over there. And Carl used to put me in the game real late when we needed to get the ball, and he knew I would just dive after the ball with reckless abandon. That's what I was known for, just diving on the floor after the ball. I was always the scrappy kid with no talent.
Even when your team had it, you were diving for the ball. As they used to say, he may be short, but he's slow. Hey, Bill, thanks for being with us today. Continued success to you. Listen, we're going to take a break for the news. Can you stick around for a while?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
Steve Mason is with us. They are playing.
Let's preempt Rush. Is he on next?
No, he's had his moment on our program already this morning. We're going to have about 5 minutes. We could actually go around and heckle the golfers.
Oh, sounds good.
On greens around the Highland Meadows Golf Course.
Beautiful.
This is Anderson and Company. We're going to take a break for the news, and then we're back with more from the Jamie Farr Kroger Classic.
And back to Highland Meadows, and here's more of Jerry Anderson and Company.
David, thank you very much. We are at Highland Meadows. Some clouds have set in. Otherwise, it's a very nice, comfortable day, and they are playing the Fifth Third Bank Pro-Am. Our guest at our remote location is Steve Mason, former morning man over at the old 93Q. And then they played Louie for about 48 hours.
Yeah, why'd they kill that thing? Why'd they kill that station? That was a great station.
We used to have a lot of fun. I was thinking about saying, because I used to come over. You were very kind to invite me onto your program on several occasions, and we used to just kind of cuss and cut up and have a great time. Went out and
Did you say cuss?
Cuss and cut up,
yeah. We basically did. That's all we did on that show, as a matter of fact.
Went out and caught eggs off the building one day. They were throwing eggs off the roof of your building.
It was a nice pastime. Have you done that promotion yet here at WSPD?
No, but with the new expansion downtown, we have a 2-story expansion that they can throw eggs off.
There you go.
Actually, the employees are thinking about doing that.
That's a good lead into G. Gordon Liddy. Maybe there'll be some ATF agents out there.
We have those
to toss them at.
we can fire at them, and we know where to fire. You had me out reading the news at the corner of Reynolds and Heatherdowns one morning.
That's right.
Anderson, Mr. Credibility in town, willingly, Steve says, hey, would you go do the news, but I need you to take one of our Marty mobile transmitters and just go down to Heatherdowns and Reynolds and read the news. Okay. You have that ability to get people around you to just go, okay.
You were such a sport. I mean, I remember when you participated in the great UFO shenanigans out of Chuck Muir's. Do you remember that year? We staged a fake UFO crash at Chuck Muir's, and we had Jerry Anderson calling in saying, yep, I'm broadcasting live, and we've got a UFO down here at Chuck Muir's.
And they still let me do news in town.
That's great.
It's a beautiful thing.
Strange scene in South Toledo. Kids lined up outside a city pool in the snows of winter, towels in hand, as if ready to go for a dip. They were there to show support for a councilman's effort to get the facility repaired or rebuilt. Many of us may have longed for that chilly scene this past weekend when thermometers nudged toward the century mark and city pools were packed with kids and families trying to beat the heat. You'll recall that last January, in a failed effort to derail plans to reopen Pickford Pool, the mayor's office said it was reevaluating the entire city pool system to determine whether it was a program that should be scaled back. At the time, the mayor's office said a study was underway and results would be forthcoming. Well, summer has arrived, even if the study results haven't. And across Toledo, kids and parents are grateful to have a few places to cool off. But what about that study? Well, here's a suggestion to City Hall types. If you want to evaluate the need for a city pool system, do it now. The next scorching hot weekend, spend a day on the project. Stand outside the gate at any city pool. Stand there all day in the sun and ask folks if they think a city pool is a good use of tax dollars. And then go home. But don't turn on the air conditioning. See what summer living in Toledo is like for those folks. It's likely you'll find that city pools are a hot idea. and a good investment for taxpayers and city leaders who are trying to keep things cool this summer. That's commentary. I'm Bob Seabold, News Radio 1370, WSPD.
As they clean up from yesterday's accident. When you see traffic troubles, 241-4994 or star 1370 toll-free on your 360 communication cellular phone. In our forecast for today, we have partly sunny skies, chance of afternoon thunderstorms, and a high of 82 today. Mostly cloudy tonight with showers and thunderstorms early and a low of 60. It is 74 degrees here in downtown at News Radio 1370 WSPD.
Hey, we're going to be back to wrap things up for this morning's program from the Jamie Farr Kroger Classic at Highland Meadows. Steve Mason, our guest. This is Anderson and Company.
Special way, yes, we perfected breakfast. Cafe Marie.
Coming up on 8:56, 4 minutes away from 9 o'clock. My name is Jerry Anderson. This is Anderson and Company. Steve Mason is in town. It isn't everybody who lives in Hollywood and then comes back to Toledo for vacation.
No, that is true. But I have family back here. I come back 3-4 times a year. This is always home. Always will be.
All right. So what's ahead for you? Sounds like the plate's awfully full.
The plate is full. I'm going to continue to work on both for JCOR in Southern California and for the CBS Talk Radio Network, and I'm working on some television stuff that hopefully will happen in the next couple of months. And
TV stuff.
TV stuff. Time to cross over. Time to make the big crossover.
Uh-huh. Can you let us in or anything, or is it too early?
Nope, just development stuff.
Just watch. Keep watching,
stuff.
folks.
Development stuff. Talk show stuff. That Rosie O'Donnell thing is a good trend, though.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. No sleazy stuff.
Need any makeup advice? Give old Jerry a call. Mine's a lot better than Jeff Heitz's or Rosie O'Donnell.
Jeff is still doing well, isn't he?
Oh, gosh, yes.
He owns the market.
Oh,
Does he own it? I mean, he owns the town.
Yeah, no, I own the market. I rent part of it to him. He's a friend of yours from years gone by.
Oh, Jeff he's a tremendous
you interned
guy.
down there. You work with Oris.
I did. I was Oris.
Oris retired.
I heard that.
Yeah, he's doing well, though.
Is he doing well? Is he still in town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
And Dan Cummins got the job full-time.
sure. About time.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's only been, like, the guy on deck for about 12 years.
That guy earned it. I was always
Yes.
a big Dan Cummins fan.
Yep.
Great guy.
Hey, listen, it is great for you to spend so much time with us.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back home. It is good to see you. Continued success in everything you do, and there are many things in which you're involved. You're just the best, and thanks for being my friend for all these years and helping me out. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I count you among my very best friends, and I appreciate coming back here anytime.
All right, folks, we're going to do it again tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, live from Highland Meadows here in Sylvania. Come on out and enjoy the Jamie Farr Kroger Classic. The news is next on WSPD News Radio 1370. This is Anderson and Company.
Carl Detmer and the Afternoon News. Weekdays 3 to 6 on News Radio 1370 WSPD Toledo.